You think your outfit doesn't matter when you fly? Picture this: you're already late. TSA pulls you aside. Your boots set off the scanner. Your belt comes off. And by the time you're lacing back up, your gate's closed. All because of what you wore. Sounds dramatic? It happens every single day. And the truth is, the biggest mistake starts right at your feet. Your shoes can either glide you through security or turn the line into your worst nightmare. It always starts with the shoes. They seem harmless, you throw on a pair that looks cool or matches your travel fit, and you don't think twice. But ask anyone who's been stuck in a TSA line with a backpack sliding off their shoulder, fumbling with shoelaces while the person behind them sighs like you've ruined their entire week. The wrong shoes can derail your whole trip. Take boots, for example. They might look stylish. They might even feel sturdy. But at an airport, boots are your enemy. Lace-ups, zippers, chunky soles, heavy combat styles, anything that takes more than 5 seconds to get on or off is basically a time bomb at security. TSA doesn't care how long it took you to perfect your outfit. If your boots trigger the scanner, you're kicking them off, standing barefoot, holding up the line, and praying your socks don't have holes. And sneakers don't think you're safe there either. Those big, bulky sneakers with metal eyelets, thick soles, and endless laces, they'll set off alarms, slow you down, and guarantee you'll be that person crouched on the floor, shoving your foot back into a shoe while your boarding group is already on the plane. But here's the flip side. People who try to hack airport footwear by going ultra minimal. Flip-flops, slides, flimsy sandals. Sure, they're fast to slip off, but they're a disaster waiting to happen. Picture this. You're running across a slick terminal floor because your gate just changed at the last second. One sandal flies off mid-sprint. You skid across polished tile like a cartoon character, arms flailing, and everyone is staring. That's the best-case scenario. Worst case? You go down hard. Luggage flying. Dignity shattered. And let's not forget the absolute nightmare airport bathrooms. If your flip-flop slips in there, congratulations. You are now barefoot on the most unhygienic floor you'll ever step on in your life. One traveler on Reddit called it the single biggest regret of their trip. Flip-flops might make sense at the beach, but in an airport, they're basically an open invitation to regret. Even if you make it onto the plane, bad shoes keep haunting you. Feet swell at altitude, it's science. That snug pair of sneakers you wore at check-in? By hour 4, they feel like a pressure cooker. And if you're unlucky enough to face an emergency evacuation, loose laces or unstable sandals can literally trip you up when every second counts. Think about it. Nobody wants to be barefoot, running down a smoke-filled evacuation slide in the dark. So what actually works? Lightweight sneakers with minimal laces, slip-ons with solid grip, running shoes that are easy on, easy off, and don't have hidden metal that'll light up the scanner. They let you breeze through TSA, slip back on in seconds, and keep you comfortable whether you're sprinting for a connection or standing in line for an hour. And here's the bonus. Good travel shoes aren't just about comfort or safety. They change how you carry yourself in an airport. Instead of being the stressed-out traveler bent over in line, you're the one who looks calm, prepared, and unbothered. And believe me, other people notice. But here's the kicker. Shoes are just the first layer of mistakes travelers make. Because once you've cleared security, you're still not safe from the hidden traps in your outfit. Nobody ever thinks about socks when they're getting dressed for the airport. Shoes get all the attention, pants take forever to decide on, and the jacket gets fussed over because of the pockets. But socks? They're an afterthought. Just grab a pair, right? Wrong. Socks are the hidden make-or-break detail of your entire travel outfit. Here's the reality. Unless you're in TSA pre-check, you're going to be barefoot on that airport floor, And not just any floor, we're talking about cold, slick tiles that have seen coffee spills, melted ice cream, mystery stains, and who knows what else from thousands of travelers every single day. It's not just gross, it's exposure you don't want. One traveler on a forum described stepping onto the floor with thin socks and feeling like they were absorbing 1,000 people's mistakes with every step. Dramatic, but not wrong. This is why socks aren't optional. They're your first line of defense, but not all socks are equal. Thin, cheap cotton socks stretch out fast, slip under your heel, and leave you with that annoying bunching feeling inside your shoe. On a long-haul flight, that turns into irritation you can't escape. Scratchy seams dig into your toes. Synthetic fabrics hold in sweat, making your feet damp and cold at the same time. By the time you land, your socks feel like damp paper towels. The smart move? Choose socks that do more than just cover your feet. Compression socks are a secret weapon for anyone flying longer than 2 hours. They don't just keep your legs warm, they actually improve blood circulation, reduce swelling, and lower your risk of blood clots, which is a very real danger on flights where you're sitting still for hours. It's the kind of problem most people don't think about until they stand up after a 6-hour flight and realize their legs feel like balloons. And then there's comfort. Imagine this. You've just boarded, you finally sit down, and like most people, you kick off your shoes to relax. The socks you wore through TSA, they've already been dragged across security trays and dirty airport tiles. That's when a fresh pair comes in clutch. Pack one extra pair in your carry-on. Change into them after takeoff. It's a small move, but it makes you feel instantly cleaner and more comfortable. It's like hitting a reset button mid-flight. Another tip: avoid overly thick or fuzzy socks. They might seem cozy, but inside snug shoes, they just create pressure points. Thin but durable, moisture-wicking socks are the sweet spot. Brands that specialize in athletic or travel gear like Bombas, Smartwool, or Uniqlo Airism understand this balance. Here's the thing. Shoes get you through TSA. Socks carry you through the flight. And once you understand that, you'll never pack for the airport without thinking about them again. But socks are still just one piece of the puzzle. Because once you're seated for hours, the real battle begins at your legs. Pants versus shorts. And this debate, it's not as obvious as most people think. At first glance, shorts look like the obvious winner for air travel. They're easy, breezy, and keep you cool when you're running through a crowded terminal. On a summer trip, they even feel logical. Why wear heavy pants when you're headed somewhere warm? But step onto a plane, and suddenly reality hits. Airplanes are cold. Not just turn the AC up a little cold. We're talking about freezing vents blasting straight onto your knees for hours. If you've ever been trapped in the middle seat, huddled under a paper-thin airline blanket while icy air streams down from the overhead vent, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Shorts might get you through the terminal, but on a plane, they turn you into a shivering mess. And it's not just about temperature. Think about hygiene. Plane seats aren't exactly pristine. Thousands of people have sat there before you, and with shorts, your skin has direct contact with the seat fabric. Do you really want your bare legs pressed against a surface that's seen spills, crumbs, and who knows what from 100 other passengers? Probably not. Now let's talk about perception. One Redditor put it bluntly: nobody wants someone's bare legs brushing up against them on a flight. Even if you're not touching the person next to you, shorts feel more intrusive in cramped spaces. Whether it's fair or not, people notice, and in tight quarters, dressing a little more thoughtfully goes a long way. So, if shorts are out, does that mean jeans are in? Not exactly. Denim might feel durable, but stiff fabric is torture when you're wedged into a narrow seat for hours. Belts dig into your waist, seams cut into your thighs, and by the end of the flight, you can't wait to peel them off. The real winner? Travel-friendly pants that check 3 boxes: soft, stretchy, and non-restrictive. Joggers are a favorite. They're lightweight, flexible, and still look pulled together. Chinos with a bit of stretch also work, giving you comfort without looking too casual. And here's a detail most travelers forget. Cabin pressure makes your body swell. Your waist, your legs, even your ankles expand slightly at altitude. That means pants that feel snug at check-in can feel like a straitjacket mid-flight. The solution? Always go a size looser than you think you need. There's also a safety angle most people overlook. Leggings and other synthetic materials might feel like the comfiest choice. But in the rare case of an onboard fire, synthetic fabrics don't just burn, they melt. Aviation experts like journalist Christine Negroni have pointed out that in an emergency, cotton or wool is a far safer choice. Nobody likes to imagine emergencies at 35,000 feet, but if you care about traveling smart, it's worth thinking about. And one more PSA: avoid jumpsuits or rompers. They look chic, sure, but picture trying to navigate a cramped airplane lavatory while basically undressing from the shoulders down. At cruising altitude, with turbulence? That's not just uncomfortable, that's a full-blown regret story. Bottom line, shorts might win at the beach, jeans might win at dinner, but when you're flying, soft, stretchy, natural fiber pants are undefeated. They keep you warm, comfortable, safe, and far less awkward than shorts ever will. But even the perfect pair of pants can't save you if you mess up the next piece of the puzzle, because the real travel secret isn't just what you wear, it's how you layer. Here's the thing nobody tells you. Airplanes don't have a comfortable setting. They're either ice cold, sweltering hot, or weirdly both at the same time. One minute you're shivering under the vent, the next you're peeling off a sweater because the cabin suddenly feels like a sauna. Some lounges feel like walk-in freezers, while others are so hot, you start questioning if the AC even works. That's why layering isn't just smart, it's survival. The key is flexibility. Think in terms of layers you can add or peel off without looking like you're stripping in the middle of Terminal 3. Start with a breathable base layer, a soft cotton or moisture-wicking t-shirt, something that feels comfortable on its own in case you're stuck in a hot gate area. On top of that, add a lightweight crewneck or hoodie. Nothing too bulky, but enough to take the edge off the chill once you're in the air. And then, your final piece. A travel jacket. This isn't about fashion, it's about function. A good travel jacket is like a secret weapon. Not only does it keep you warm when the cabin temperature drops, but the right one can also double as storage. And storage matters. Airlines are strict about carry-on weight limits, but here's a hack. Your jacket doesn't count toward that. A jacket with deep, zippered pockets can hold your power bank, phone charger, earbuds, even your passport, all the little things that would normally weigh down your bag. Travelers swear by it. One frequent flyer said his jacket pockets basically became his second carry-on when his bag was overweight at check-in. And let's talk about colors and fabrics. Turbulence, coffee spills, food trays that slide at the worst moment it happens. Darker colors and wrinkle-resistant fabrics forgive a lot of mistakes. They keep you looking sharp, even after 6 hours of being crammed into a middle seat. Nobody wants to step off a plane looking like they've been dragged through baggage claim, and the right jacket helps you avoid that. Here's the part people don't always say out loud, but it's true. How you dress changes how you're treated. Clean, put-together outfits often mean smoother check-ins, fewer questions at immigration, and even better interactions with flight attendants. More than one traveler has reported being mistaken for airline staff just because they looked professional. You don't need to wear a suit, but looking intentional goes a long way in a place where first impressions happen in seconds. One last detail. Whatever jacket you choose, make sure it's easy to remove. Security will make you take it off, guaranteed. The last thing you want is fumbling with 20 zippers and tangled wires while the line backs up behind you. Keep your essentials in separate pockets, organized, so you can slip it off, toss it in a bin, and move on without stress. Layers aren't just about warmth, they're about control. When everything else in air travel feels unpredictable, having the power to adjust your comfort on the fly is priceless. But here's the catch. Even the smartest layering strategy won't save you if you mess up the one thing closest to your skin. Because the most overlooked and most uncomfortable mistake travelers make starts with their underwear. It's not the first thing you think about when you pack, but it should be. Underwear is the silent villain of bad travel days. You don't notice it when you put it on, but halfway through your flight when the cabin air is dry, the seat is cramped, and you've got nowhere to move. That's when you realize you made a mistake. Here's the problem. Most underwear isn't designed for sitting still in a pressurized metal tube for hours. Tight waistbands that felt fine in the morning start digging into your skin. Synthetic fabrics trap heat and moisture, turning your seat into a sauna. Lace and shapewear? Forget it. They look great in the mirror, but mid-flight, they become itchy, constricting, and downright miserable. Think about it. You're already stuck in a seat you can barely recline, surrounded by strangers, breathing dry air that dehydrates you faster than you realize. Add uncomfortable underwear to the mix, and you're signing up for hours of irritation you can't escape. The fix is surprisingly simple. Go natural. Cotton, merino wool, or high-quality moisture-wicking microfiber. These fabrics breathe, stretch, and keep you dry even on long flights. They don't trap heat the way synthetics do, and they adjust better when your body swells at altitude. Cotton is cheap and effective, but merino wool has the bonus of being odor-resistant, which is a lifesaver on long-haul flights. Fit matters just as much as fabric. On long flights, your waist and hips expand slightly. What felt snug in the morning can start pinching hours later. The trick? Go a size up for travel. That extra room makes a huge difference when you're stuck in one position for hours. You don't need anything fancy, just something that doesn't fight your body when it needs to relax. Here's an underrated hack. Always pack a backup pair in your carry-on. You might not think you'll need it until you do. One traveler told the story of sitting through a 10-hour flight in damp underwear because of a spilled drink. No backup. No way to change. Miserable doesn't even begin to describe it. A fresh pair can feel like a lifesaver at cruising altitude. And let's be real. Your underwear sets the tone for the rest of your outfit. You can wear the perfect joggers, the best jacket, the smartest sneakers. But if your underwear is cutting into your waist or trapping sweat, you're not going to feel comfortable. Travel is stressful enough. Don't let the first thing you put on ruin the rest of your day. Because once your base layer is sorted, every other part of your outfit feels easier. But there's one more trap waiting for travelers, and it's sneakier than most people realize. Accessories. If shoes are the first mistake, accessories are the sneakiest. They're the little details you don't even think about until they become the exact reason TSA pulls you aside. A watch here, a belt there, maybe some jewelry, and suddenly, you're in the extra screening lane while your flight time keeps ticking down. Take belts, for example. They're the accessory that looks harmless but causes chaos. Metal buckles light up scanners every single time, which means you're stuck unbuckling, holding up the line, juggling your carry-on while trying not to flash the people behind you. Pro travelers skip belts altogether and swap them for a simple fabric travel belt. Same function, zero hassle. Watches are another trap. That sleek smartwatch? TSA doesn't care how many steps it counts. They see a dense metal object. You'll have to take it off, toss it in a bin, and hope it doesn't get scratched. Rings and necklaces? Same problem. Small items that get flagged, tangled, or worse, forgotten in the tray when you're in a rush. And then there's the infamous AirTag story. One traveler left an AirTag in his jacket pocket. Security flagged it as suspicious. 10-minute bag search, extra questions, boarding time slipping away, all because of a coin-sized tracker. That's the kind of mistake that feels tiny at home but costs you big at the airport. Here's the pro move. Pack all your small metal items in a zip pouch before you even hit security. Rings, earrings, belt buckles, even coins. Drop the pouch in the tray, sail through the scanner, pick it up, and move on. No fumbling, no forgotten items, no sighs from the impatient person behind you. Medical devices deserve a special mention here. Insulin pumps, prosthetics, ports, you're allowed to bring them. But don't make TSA guess what's under your shirt or in your pocket. A simple TSA notification card from tsa.gov can save you a 15-minute delay. I've heard stories of travelers who breezed through with one quick note, while others without it got pulled aside, questioned, and stressed out before their trip even started. And here's the kicker. Rules aren't even the same everywhere. Heathrow might wave you through, but Singapore's scanners? Much stricter. Always check TSA and airline guidelines before you fly internationally. Accessories are small, but the delays they cause aren't. Pack smart. Prep ahead, and you'll glide through security like the pros do. But here's the thing, while accessories can trip you up at the gate, there's a bigger mistake waiting on the plane. Because sometimes the clothes that seem comfortable are the ones that actually sabotage your entire flight. This is the part where most travelers get blindsided. You pick something that feels good at home, looks decent in the mirror, maybe even seems comfortable during the drive to the airport. But hours into the flight, that same outfit turns against you in ways you never expected. Let's start with fabrics. Polyester, rayon, and other synthetic blends are common because they're lightweight and cheap. But here's the dirty secret. Those fabrics trap odors. At home, you don't notice. On a plane where the air is dry, the cabin is cramped, and you're sitting shoulder to shoulder with strangers, they start holding on to sweat and smells. By hour 3, you don't feel fresh anymore. By hour 6, you're wishing you had picked cotton or merino wool instead. Then there are outfits that don't adapt. That tight top you loved at 8 a.m. By hour 2 of sitting in airplane posture, it's cutting into your ribs. That stiff collar looks sharp at boarding, but it rubs your neck raw after a few hours. Clothes with scratchy seams, slipping straps, or buttons that pop the second you lean forward, they all become distractions. And distractions turn into misery when you can't escape them for hours. And let's revisit leggings. Yes, they're comfortable. Yes, they stretch. But most leggings are made from synthetic materials. Aviation safety experts have warned that in a fire or emergency evacuation, synthetics don't just burn, they melt. Imagine fabric fusing to your skin while you're trying to escape. It's a rare scenario, but it's real, and it's not worth the risk. Cotton or wool leggings exist, and they're far safer choices if you love the fit. Another overlooked mistake: brand new clothes. You might think, I'll wear this new shirt or pants on the flight. But if you haven't tested them at home, you don't know how they behave. When you sit, sweat, or stretch for hours, I've read stories of travelers who boarded in a brand new outfit only to find out the seams dug in, the fabric didn't breathe, or the waistband felt like a vice halfway through the flight. Always test drive new clothes before making them your in-flight uniform. And then there's the loud outfit problem. Multiple travelers have noticed that extreme styles, spiked jackets, combat boots, ripped jeans, heavy metal band tees tend to draw extra attention from airport staff. More random screenings, more bag checks, more side eyes. One flyer said that after switching to plain joggers, a soft sweater, and covering tattoos, those random checks almost completely stopped. Finally, let's talk about shorts again, because they're worth repeating. Beyond the cold and the hygiene issues, they just don't sit well socially. One passenger on Reddit summed it up perfectly. "I don't want someone's hairy legs touching me. Even if they're not touching, it's just gross." Fair or not, perception matters in close quarters. Here's the bottom line. If your outfit would make you uncomfortable during a long delay, embarrassing in a middle seat, or awkward in an evacuation, it's the wrong outfit. Air travel isn't just about style, it's about function, comfort, and respect for the space you're sharing with hundreds of other people. And when you think about it like that, suddenly every choice, shoes, socks, pants, underwear, even your accessories becomes less about fashion and more about survival. At the end of the day, air travel throws 100 things at you that you can't control. Flight delays, gate changes, that one passenger who somehow takes up half your armrest. But what you can control is what you put on before you leave the house. Your outfit isn't just about looking good, it's the silent factor that decides how your entire travel day feels. The wrong shoes can hold you up at security. The wrong socks can leave you cringing on filthy floors. The wrong pants can turn a long haul into hours of discomfort. And the wrong underwear? That one tiny detail can ruin a flight faster than turbulence. But here's the good news. With a little strategy, you can flip the script. Slip on sneakers that slide off at TSA, compression socks that keep you comfortable at altitude, pants that stretch. Breathe. And don't fight your body when it swells. Layers you can add or shed when the cabin shifts from icebox to sauna. Even choosing darker colors that hide spills and jackets with pockets that act like a second carry-on. Every choice adds up, and together, they create a flight experience that feels smoother, calmer, and way less stressful. And here's something to think about. How you dress doesn't just affect you. It affects how everyone around you experiences the trip too. A considerate outfit makes life easier for the person stuck next to you in the middle seat. A smart outfit gets you through security without slowing down the line. A professional-looking outfit might even get you treated differently by staff. It's not about impressing anyone, it's about making the whole process smoother for everyone. Because here's the truth. A delayed flight is out of your hands. Turbulence is out of your hands. But sitting through all of it in clothes that keep you comfortable, calm, and ready for whatever comes next, that's 100% in your control. So the next time you're packing, don't just think about your destination. Think about the journey. A smart airport outfit won't magically fix travel chaos, but it will make every second of it feel a whole lot easier. Now I want to hear from you. What's the worst travel outfit mistake you've ever made or seen someone else make? Drop your story in the comments, because I guarantee we've all got one. And if this video helped you rethink your airport wardrobe, hit that like button and subscribe for more travel smart tips. Because in the end, travel isn't just about where you're going, it's about how you get there. And the right outfit? That's your first-class ticket, no matter what seat you're in.